Hello everyone, Matthias Key here, coming to you from the year 2024, reading Ancient Prophecies of the Mahdi, the Book of Revelation as prototype for the Islamic end-time Hadiths. We've reached the section titled H24, Topic 2, Hatred Against Jews and Christians, and K24, Topic 2, Sacrilege of the Temple. The Hadiths, Hatred Against Jews and Christians. IsaIbnMaryam will be a just ruler. With the justice that he delivers, the Hadith says he will break the cross, kill the pigs, and abolish the jizya tax. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, the 13th century Islamic theologian and jurisconsult of Damascus, voiced the interpretation of this hadith held by jihadists through all centuries in his book Ighatha al-Lahfan, Helping the Grieved. The Muslims are waiting for the descent of the Messiah IsaIbnMaryam from heaven, when he will break the crosses, kill the pigs, and kill his enemies among the Jews and the Christians who worship him. In this widely held view, IsaIbnMaryam will forsake his Jewishness. He will also emphatically reject the false notion that he is the head of the Christian religion. To back this up, he cleanses the world of unbelief by killing the Jews and Christians. This will happen in the most violent manner. First, let us consider the Jews. By killing his enemies among them, IsaIbnMaryam will be following the core teachings of Muhammad. Why will Isa attack the Jews instead of following the Qur'an's teachings that are favorable toward the Jews? Here are several. O children of Israel, call to mind the special favor which I bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you to all others for my message. Surah 2:122. We did aforetime grant to the children of Israel the book, the power of command, and prophethood. We gave them for sustenance things good and pure, and we favored them above the nations. Surah 45:16. The reason is that in the Qur'an, many verses seem to contradict one another. In such cases, the Islamic doctrine called nasikh provides guidance. It states that the older revelations that Muhammad received from the angel Jibril are to be cancelled out, mansukh, by newer ones. Many Qur'ans include a chart of cancelled verses so that the faithful know which ones have been superseded. The verses above are thus cancelled by others that announce a stark hatred for the Jews. The Jews say, Allah's hand is tied up. Be their hands tied up, and be they accursed for the blasphemy they utter. Amongst them we have placed enmity and hatred till the day of judgment. Surah 5:64. Allah hath cursed them for their unbelief, and but few of them will believe. Surah 4:46. The Jews are also said to start wars and cause general mischief. They have descended to the lowest behavior. Allah was so disgusted by them that he cursed them and turned them into apes and swine. They are no longer worthy even of being considered as human. When in their insolence they transgressed all prohibitions, we said to them, Be ye apes, despised and rejected. Surah 7:166. Those who incurred the curse of Allah and his wrath, those of whom some he transformed into apes and swine. Surah 5:60. After Muhammad's death, anti-Semitism grew over the centuries. The scorn for the Jews far surpasses the specific historical conflicts during his lifetime, for instance with the Jewish Banu Qurayza tribe, who refused to accept his prophethood, whom Muhammad then slaughtered after a suitable pretext, as we saw in section K03. The hatred of Muslims against Jews is more than justified by the Quranic scriptures above. In the end time, the Mahdi's nullification of the treaty mediated by the Jews, as in section H21, opens the door for him to fulfill the will of Allah once and for all. Islam will finally break through the treachery of countless Jewish agreements. Jews will be made to suffer for all the treaties they extracted from Muslims. They are now marked out for a destiny of absolute and total slaughter. The intention of IsaIbnMaryam is to carry out the Mahdi's plan with a more thorough cleansing of the world from Jews than even Hitler's final solution. That is the prognostication of the Hadiths. Second, with regard to Christians, the end-time caliphate will not be satisfied with marginalizing Christianity. It will abolish it. The Hadith says, IsaIbnMaryam will break the cross and kill the pigs. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah adds that he will kill his enemies among the Christians who worship him. Christians, easily identified by the detestable practice of eating pork, will be punished with death. The choice for those who worship the Christ of the Bible will be either to convert to Islam or to die at the hands of IsaIbnMaryam's religious enforcers. Isa's actions will bring about the peace that the Mahdi promised by liquidating any who would challenge his supremacy. Peace through war will characterize the remainder of the Mahdi's 7-year rule. Revelation, Sacrilege of the Temple. Whenever people see the miraculous healing of the beast's fatal wound, they are convinced of his almost divine powers. He displays it proudly. His deputy, the false prophet, calls fire down from heaven to prove his divinity. The false prophet takes further advantage of the awe of the people. He commands that an image of the beast be made into a kind of statue. After it is put into position, the false prophet dazzles the whole world by giving life to the image. To all appearances, this is another miraculous act equal to God originally forming the first man Adam from the dust and giving him life. This last miracle is totally compelling to most people. In their amazement, they join in worshiping the image. It becomes the religious centerpiece of the tribulation. People worldwide channel their spirits toward the image and the one it represents. The image of the beast will be the abomination that causes desolation, prophesied by Daniel. The phrase "in the middle of the week" points to soon after the midpoint of the tribulation, when worship of the image will replace the God-given temple rites of sacrifice and offering. In the Old Testament, they were performed by the Jewish priests to atone for the sins of the people. But the priests of the tribulation have been ejected from the temple as part of the abrogation of the treaty by the beast. The image of abomination is the most audacious counterfeit object of worship. We can deduce from Daniel that the image will be placed inside the holy temple itself as a maximum statement of defiance against the holy God of Israel. The sacrilege will be compounded when the beast's followers take full control of the city and the temple. The Apostle Paul also looked ahead to this event. He foresaw that the main actor, whom Revelation labels as the beast, will be none other than the man of lawlessness, the Antichrist. His intention will be to exalt himself above God. Comparison. Hatred against Jews and their temple. The Hadith celebrate the idea that IsaIbnMaryam will kill his enemies among the Jews. This will be the culmination of centuries of righteous anti-Semitism, fully justified by the example of Muhammad and the teachings of the Qur'an. In Revelation, the false prophet doubles down on his miracles by bringing the living image of the beast inside the holy temple of the Jews. He eagerly sets forth this abomination that causes desolation. It is the opening of the official campaign to eradicate the Jews of the tribulation, along with any who have come to faith in Christ. Lurking behind these actions against Jews in both Revelation and the Hadiths is Satan's ancient hatred for the Jews. From the day God gave Jacob the name Israel and selected his descendants to be his chosen people, Satan has not rested from his attacks on them. Throughout the Bible and afterward, he has used human rulers to persecute and kill Jews. Pharaoh ordered all male Hebrew newborn to be slaughtered. Haman attempted to have all the Jews of the Medo-Persian Empire killed. The Greek king Antiochus Epiphanes laid siege to Jerusalem, in which countless Jews were killed. Titus, son of Vespasian, besieged Jerusalem and leveled the temple, in the process killing 1.1 million Jews. In the last 2,000 years, various Islamic and supposedly Christian nations have targeted Jews for persecution. We cannot forget Hitler's Nazi Germany, which killed 6 million Jews, and the Islamic terrorists of recent decades, for whom Jews are the chief target. The history of the Jews over millennia and how God has preserved his chosen people despite their unbelief is proof that Satan exists. He is their worst enemy. The future actions of the Mahdi, Isa, and their followers follow in this line of history. They are mirrored not just in Revelation, but also in the prophecy of Daniel 9:26 that we saw in section K16. Back then, at the beginning of the tribulation, the beast came as the rider on the red horse. He will be Daniel's prince who is to come. This anticipates the future temple to be built in Jerusalem. The Antichrist, with a large band of followers, will ruin it and lay waste to the city. The Hadiths echo Daniel's prophecy. IsaIbnMaryam will lead the followers of the Mahdi to break the cross, kill the Christian pigs, and kill his enemies among the Jews as well. It is likely they will devastate the Jewish quarter of Jerusalem and desecrate the temple in the name of Allah. They will regard the rebuilt temple as a direct competitor to Islam's holiest site, the Kaaba in Mecca. It is therefore worthy of sacrilege and destruction. Muslims will revere IsaIbnMaryam because to them he is the Masih, Messiah or Christ, sent by Allah back to earth. But the true Jesus of the New Testament warned his disciples and all future believers of such false Christs who would come. If it is in God's sovereign plan that the Mahdi will be the Antichrist, then IsaIbnMaryam would be the false prophet of Revelation. He will claim the name of Christ. He will deceive many. It is terribly ironic that the Qur'an mentions portions of the Old Testament as holy books that were given to the Jews by Allah. The Torah, revealed to Musa, Moses, and the Zabur, Psalms, revealed to David. Yet after Muhammad came, Allah cursed the Jews for all eternity. The true God of the Bible did not curse the Jews forever when most of them refused Jesus as the Messiah. Many of them were complicit with his death on the cross. When they disobeyed God, he did not turn against them, but kept his promises to Moses and David. And he has brought many Jews to believe in Jesus in the last 2,000 years. Unlike Allah and Satan, God does not curse groups of people in this life. Instead of cursing the Muslims who argue with the idea that God has a son, Jesus has appeared to thousands of them in their dreams. When they meet Jesus, they know that he loves them and forgives them. Allah does not surprise with such forgiveness. He's unpredictable. If he favored the Jews and then cursed them centuries later, might he do the same with Muslims even before the Mahdi comes? If you have found this video helpful, then please click the like button. I also invite you to subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon to get notifications when I upload new videos. Thank you for watching.